YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, back in the poisoned Parthian Patchy campaign. And we have retaken Samandar, it looks like. Got my revenge there, I think. And pretty much finished off Cimmeria, except for a couple of provinces. And it looks like Colchis has taken, let's see, Trapezos, which means I can't just walk through there. So I will allow them to go after Cimmeria at Amasia. And that means that I can kind of focus on mopping them up in their last province up here, which shouldn't be too difficult for me to do. Except right here I accidentally took this army out to sea last time. We're going to have to bring them back to land. Let's see. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I was in the middle of, whether I was at the beginning of a turn or end of a turn. Maybe at least partway through one. Looks like I've got... Let's see, let's check all my provinces real quick. Looks like I'm just busy getting a few things caught up here. Should be fine. Man, my economy is doing great in this campaign. I wish I could do this in the Iceni campaign. I'm doing terrible. Well, economy-wise, and just got my rear kicked by a whole lot of angry Oathsworn. But that's okay. I'm planning my revenge for that one as well. Public squalor. Wow, that gives me a ton of income, though. I'm going to build that as soon as I can. Yeah, we should be good for now. Let's see if there's any other movements I want to make. That army is where it is. This army... Gazaka's got a heavy horse stud. And I could use some more armored horse archers in this army, so I might leave Armavir and head back to Gazaka. It looks like I'm in the process of trying to convert that agent. That'll be fine. Let's go ahead and end this turn, just to get into a new turn. See what's up next for the Parthians. Once we finish off Cimmeria, I think I may try and join the war against the Seleucids. And I would probably need military access to accomplish this, but I can't quite tell. I'll have to take a closer look. But I can try and help finish off the Seleucids for all the factions for which I'm defensively allied to. And this time it looks like the Cimmerians are going to get my city, and there's probably not a ton I can do about it. Though I do have 3 slingers, it's just a question of, do I really feel like fighting this out and trying to win? Ooh. Admiral, I can't tell what kind of ship that is. I mean, he's got some javelin units that my slingers should theoretically be able to kill. But they have 2 of their own slinger units and a whole bunch of hoplites that really wouldn't work out well. Let's just let them have it, and I'll come back and destroy them. I was heading down that way anyway. I don't want to waste a bunch of time on a battle that's not going to really be of huge consequence here. Let the Cimmerians think that they're coming back.
Have not omens shown that the gods will welcome a treaty? Do not
So see, these guys are at war with Pontus. They want me to have a military alliance with them. They're not very strong, and they're kind of treacherous, so I'm not really sure about this. I'm going to reject that offer. So let's see, my ally is attacked. So Persia is attacked by Gerheia. Not sure that was a smart move, because it looks like Persia is plenty well defended, so I'm going to enter the war on the side of my ally to maintain my integrity. I know it's hard to believe that Patchy has any sort of integrity, but really, trust me, that integrity is just for himself. He has no intentions in the end of actually being friendly with these people. He'll turn his back on them as soon as they're no longer useful, which means that they'll probably not turn their back on me. No, you can't adopt one of my characters. Thanks for using a bunch of my money. Bunch of crap political system. So the political system is one thing that I'm actually not a very big fan of on Rome 2. It's not very good, and it would be great to see it get a few changes. And the reason I say it's not very good, like, the idea of it's not bad. I think it's just the way it executes doesn't make sense. At least it doesn't to me. I've read the bit about it that's on the wiki page and tried to implement what they say, but it's like it doesn't matter. It just doesn't seem to work the way that it's said to work, which is kind of weird. But I don't know. That's just the way it comes across to me. I'm going to go ahead and move back up from Samandar. And someone sent me a link on how to pronounce this city, and even after having heard someone say it, what I realize is that it's I didn't even recognize the language, to be honest. I'm guessing it's some type of Eastern language. I, again, have no idea what that language is, and I know that I couldn't pronounce it even after hearing it, so I'll just say the city that air cannot name, I think is what we're going to have to call it. And let's see, actually should have gone from Samandar over to, yeah, whatever, this will work out. These guys have a few men here, and it's probably going to give them more kills than they deserve during an auto-resolve, unfortunately. Yeah, definitely more than they deserve, but whatever. Get out of my face. So we'll take Tannis and start reconstructing some of the buildings here. It's going to take most of my money, unfortunately. And I'll just tear that one down. Alright. Let's see if there's anything else I need to do. I need to recruit some armored horse archers into this army. And that'll pretty much be the end of my money. I don't need my spies for a whole lot else right now because there's not really any more Cimmerian agents per se. So I think that we'll be okay. I do want to hurry and get back over there and take Fanagoria though, before one of my allies goes up and takes it from me. I'd like to possess it. So we could unlock Dread here, which would be pretty great. That'd be a big help. Okay. Imagine a cataphract general with level 3 Dread and like fully upgraded weapons, armor, and charge. That'd be freaking awesome. That would be a force to be reckoned with. So Royal Scythia wants a non-aggression pact. They are at war with the Lugii. That could make the Germanic tribes dislike me. And I'm not really all that concerned about Royal Scythia, so I'm going to decline the non-aggression pact. I don't intend to attack them, but I don't really intend to make a non-aggression pact with them at the moment. That may be a mistake. We'll see what happens. Who knows, but what, I'll take these cities, and then a couple of turns later they'll show up with a gigantic army full of horse archers or something.
I hope that this offer of coins
Garheia wants me to declare peace with them, but if I do that, it's going to be a bad showing of relationship with the Persians, and I can't afford to tick off the Persians as much as I'd love to take the money from Garheia. So we're just going to have to ignore their offer. And the Seleucids join our enemies, apparently. This should not be surprising. I don't think the Seleucids have any pleasant feelings towards us. Let's see, let's go back here. The Cimmerians may just kind of keep trying to go around me, unfortunately. And I am going to need an animal breeder here eventually, so I go ahead and start building that. Got a few things going here. Unfortunately, these armies out to sea, your spy really can't do anything to them. I guess it would be hard to sneak up on a bunch of boats out to sea. That makes sense. Patchy's vengeance is about to suffer some serious attrition here. I'm actually going to bring them back down and force march them back this way. See if we can get them over here to help sooner. Let's see, Samandar, build a farm and a quarry. So let's just run through all my provinces real quick. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything in particular. I have too many farms here, because this one I can't ever really do anything with. Upgrade-wise, at least. There's another one of those Eastern Polo pitches I can build. But let's not worry about it at the moment. So let's see. We've got this Eastern Wrestling Arena coming. So I might go ahead and build another Eastern Library. Just give me a little more money and also boost my research rate. I'd like to really get my research rate through the roof. I did that on my... I played an Egypt campaign on very hard on my laptop just to kind of start getting a feel for the very hard difficulty. Took me a while to kind of get a handle on it. I did beat that campaign. It was a lot of fun. So it taught me a lot about different aspects of playing on the higher tier difficulties. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect at it by any means, but it seems to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Probably build the wrestling arena here again. Alright. I think I've pretty much built what I need to. And I don't have any money left on this turn, so let's go ahead and end it one more time. Definitely want to get Cimmerians finished off. Oh, I forgot to go after their agent. I probably did have enough money to do that. Their agent may have gotten away at this point. I
These
really don't want to
beasts
join the war
slumber,
against Sardes
but
at the
they-
moment. I don't have a clear shot at them. But I'll be joining your wars here soon. Yeah, there's their agent. He's going to go after my city down here, it looks like. Yeah. Alright. So, looks like they're going to retreat actually from Tannis, which is good. Well, with that one fleet, the others headed that way, which is bad, because Tannis is relatively undefended.
I propose,
Let's
or
see.
rather ask
Mediatra
for,
Patine wants a
treaty
military
to
alliance, and they
combine
are
our
allied
forces
with Persia,
your
which would be
considerable
a solid
strength.
alliance for us. So I think I am going to take this alliance, though they are about to die. It looks like the Seleucids are kind of trampling them. But it'll give us something to do as far as a new enemy goes. So I am going to join their alliance, which now means that I am at war with the Seleucids and Pontus. So this ought to be
We
interesting.
implore you, show your
And
strength.
is Sardes...
Engage these foes, and by so doing, put fear
Persia.
in many hearts.
Okay, fine. I'll join your war against Sardes. I'm gonna be there eventually. Looks like one of my generals died. Again, it's a 1 turn per year campaign, so not a huge surprise. All these guys are of my faction. Political faction, that is. Okay, so there's a huge Pontic army up here in my lands, and we're going to want to get back to Armavir and defend it. Well, and there's a couple of scenarios that could play out here actually, so let's use this veteran and still try and bring this agent under control. We're gonna manipulate him until we get lucky and switch him over to our cause, but hindering him is good enough. This army's not full stack, so we need to be careful here. And that Pontic army is in forced march. So let's do some good old-fashioned poisoning and slow them down. This is where our spies are going to come in helpful and honestly be overpowered. This is an army I probably would have been able to handle, but we'll just make sure they had a couple of noble blood cav here. Everything else I think my army probably could have torn up pretty badly. But we'll just overkill here and make sure that these guys aren't going to do anybody any good. Didn't work on the second one anyway. And then let's see if they're stuck in place or they have half their range. Okay, half their range, which means they could potentially attack Armavir, which means it'll be necessary for me at this point to force march to defend Armavir. And it looks like Gazaka is screwed up from that agent sabotage, which we should now be safe from. We need to move this army forward, probably to Gazaka. Ekbatana should be able to hold. It's a Persian city. And I don't think it's going to hurt me to force march up here to Gazaka. And we should probably raise another army. And I'm going to actually start raising that army back here at Amul, where I can get more cataphracts. So let's raise forces, and we can probably reinstate a legacy. I want to bring these statesmen in. Just bring one of these guys, reinstate legacy, the children of Patchy. I'm going to bring a cataphract general. Can hop into Amul, and we'll go ahead and start recruiting. Woo, these eastern cataphracts are pricey. But we'll make them worth it as they get upgrades. I can also get some nice armored horse archers there. So we'll just work on getting those guys recruited. And then up here, we should be able to retake Fanagoria. And it's giving these jokers pretty good chances. Not really sure why. I'll teach them the meaning of pain and suffering here, just so that they understand it fully before they die. I think because they have more numbers, like because infantry units have more numbers than cavalry units, and like my whole army is composed of cavalry units, so it probably gives them good chances on the auto-resolve just from a numbers standpoint, because I mean, see that garrison army is 1,032 men, even though it's men who are going to die easily under a wondrous barrage of arrows and slingstones. I need to replace these guys with Persian elite archers too, that'll be fun. Let's see, let's start our deployment. And as per usual, for this type of town, I usually send my slingers up the middle. Looks like I need to recruit some more melee cav. I'll do that the next time I have the building available to me. And they're going to be landing ships, so I'm going to keep an eye out for those ships and try and take care of them. Yeah, I'm going to leave my guys on skirmish just for now. Although the skirmish function is pretty bogus, so I'll have to be wary of it. What was that? Okay. Let's find out. Okay, I think I see the ships coming in down here. Let's go see if we can shoot them to death. Looks like some javelin men or something getting off the boats. And my slingers are well within range at this point, so I'm going to let them start unloading. They've got some slingers of their own. Nothing I'm truly concerned about at the moment, though, as far as numbers go. Whoa, that's a lot of sling stones. It's a horrendous amount of sling stones. I'll go ahead and target their slingers just so they don't get free kills on my men. I'm going to move into the city with these horse archers. And same thing over here, just to give the enemy something to think about. And looks like my slingers are trading fire with their own, and their own are doing a little better than I think they deserve to, but it's not going to be long before that tide turns pretty heavily in my favor. In fact, the AI is already starting to sally out against me, which means it's time to split up and go into some good old skirmish tactics here. I'm going to bring these horse archers out too. There's almost no room for my horse archers here in the city. Alright, so we've lured the enemy infantry out, and they're going to come probably straight at my melee cav. And now it's time to start hitting these guys in the flank with slinger fire. Oh, these horse archers decided to take the path of least resistance here, which actually would turn into the most resistance. So I'm going to take them out and around. And my slinger's doing a good job working these guys over. This type of death is not something new to the Cimmerians. They seem to be quite familiar with it, because I've dealt them several very egregious losses due to this type of tactic.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Oh yes it is. These slingers are just about dead. They're gonna shoot at my general.
Our general is
What a
under
joke.
attack.
Yeah, how do you like them stones? Probably not much. You know what would be the best here, the most gruesome, horrific, would be if the slinger stones that my guys were using were actually like bits of bone and, you know, other stuff from the bodies of the fallen Cimmerians before them. I think that would be appropriate. Appropriate and disgusting. Okay, got my armored horse archers going here. I'm gonna put them on heavy shot just to cause excess damage. Yeah, let's get all these horse archers to come up behind the enemy. Enemy slingers are almost gone. Just got them badly outmatched here. Yeah. All these hoplites are just gonna get shot to bits now. And we can probably just cataphract charge these militia hoplites. I don't think they're gonna get braced in time. They will not. So they got completely plowed. Alright. Looks like we're in good shape now. My horse archers are going to be fully behind the enemy. Skirmish will work okay against the AI units, for the most part. Should, at least. Yeah, check this out. All the enemy slingers now getting shot in the back. Man, the Cimmerians have died some horrible, awful deaths here. Yeah. They're just being absolutely shredded on every spot in the battlefield. Very little hope. And we can now bring these guys in too. Oh my gosh, those slingers are about to just get... This poor sap's just got the crap shot out of him. Oh man. Look at these hoplites actually managed to catch my horse archers, but they didn't last very long. My horse archers are kind of up against a bunch of buildings, so it may be hard for them to skirmish. Yeah, and this is the last unit of hoplites here, and these guys are going to be under some horrendous fire.
The enemy general is dead.
I'm sure he is. Just like all these guys are about to be. Oh man, that is a lot of arrows. Am I the only one that's entertained by the sheer number of arrows that these guys are soaking up? This is like an online battle where a very poorly thought out rush gone wrong here. So the Cimmerians lose decisively at Fanagoria, as was expected by me, not so much by the AI. I just didn't feel like having to retrain quite so many men, and they may have actually killed my Median Cav there. The auto-resolve's not always so kind to you with certain units, so that's why it's best to just take care of those on your own sometimes. So it looks like they've got one more province up here in the Bosphorus region that I need to take.
Ready for battle.
Flaming sacks of crap have leveled up. And Cimmerians had already managed to screw up all my buildings here, I can see. Just have to tear all these down and rebuild them on the next turn. This stupid navy, though, is probably going to come challenge me, or fleet, or whatever it is, and I don't really have a ton of units yet at Tannis. So what I may do here, actually, is raise some forces, because I need more armies anyway. I've got plenty of money. So let's raise an army with this guy here. And should it be a cataphract or a horse archer? Probably a horse archer. Let's go ahead and recruit that unit. And we should be able to defend against whatever this ragtab crap brings against us now, because I'll have a few hillmen and I can shoot to death, hopefully, whatever else comes along. Depends on how many hoplites, if any hoplites, they have in that unit. I have no more money, so it doesn't really matter. There's nothing I can do about it at the moment. Alright, let's see what upgrades. So the Saxo crap. 12 melee defense skill for all heavy cav, 5 shots per minute for all heavy cav units. Heavy cav. So this one benefits all my heavy cav a great deal. This one gives me better replenishment and minus upkeep, and then a lot of morale. Good grief. That one's not bad either, but it's only giving me another like 3% boost. 10% missile damage. I mean, a lot of these are pretty good. I'm gonna try this one though. Gives me a huge morale boost. Let's see. We can upgrade his military training abilities, and I think we're ready to end another turn. We'll see what happens here. Got my troops still in force march moving up. That could be dangerous, but not where they're at right now, because I don't think there's any real good chance of us being heavily countered. Pontic army uses movement points to retreat. So that's good. We successfully scared Pontus away on the first little attempt, and sure enough, Cimmerian's going to bring everything they can to this vicinity. And what do I get? Hillmen, which obviously can't be relied upon for anything, and some very damaged ships. So, and I don't know what this unit is here, but it looks like some kind of skirmisher. So we're going to have to fight this, and we're going to have to win. And we all know that my hillmen can't be trusted against their hoplites, which means that I need to kill their skirmish units in melee with my cavalry, and then I could potentially shoot the hoplites to death. So I'm going to have to focus my men on taking out their skirmishers, and I can do that basically right when they get off the boat. That's going to be the best time to hit them. Keep my distance from the shore, and then as soon as they get off the boat, destroy them. What is this unit? Just a few Eastern Javelin men. That... Oh, that's my unit. And I'm not going to even attempt to try and throw the Eastern Javelin away, and those are only citizen hoplites as well. So, no huge threat. Let's just bring my guys over here. This is a cool map. I don't know if I've ever seen this map. Let's get my boats here. What do they got? Citizen hoplites suck. Regular hoplites. Watch out for those guys. And then these javelin men and slingers I'm going to have to take out as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring my men ashore. Okay, it's important that I take my general off skirmish and fire at will. I'm going to have to use him properly. Okay, I'm going to save these few javelins. May not seem like much, but this is definitely one of those scenarios where I need everything I can get. Okay, let's go into play and kind of closely watch where these guys are going to come ashore. What we cannot do is get close enough that their skirmish units are able to shoot me from their ships. So we're going to have to be very careful of that. And sure enough, they're going to come put a bunch of their ships right here in front of me.
We are at your command.
Let's bring these hillmen this way. Let's bring one hillman this way as well. Bring them off this way, bring these guys this way. I'm gonna, again, need to be careful to stay out of the range of those stupid slingers, which will actually be kind of difficult, because they have a pretty wide range. What do we got over here? Slingers and javelinmen. Okay, I'm gonna go take out these slingers. Actually, we need to just run away from this fight for a minute. Crap! My hillmen went not the way I wanted them to, and now they're going to get hammered by slinger fire and probably mostly destroyed. The enemy general, or one of their units over here. How come this unit isn't... I gotta wait for those javelin men to hit the beach, or else they're going to sit there and destroy my general. Okay, so... took some highly unnecessary losses here. Basically, I want to split up all my forces. Come on, get on the beach, you dummies. I'm not worried about the AI taking the capture point. It's actually of very little concern to me at the moment. Really just need those javelin men to get on shore, which it looks like they're finally on the way to doing. And it looks like the... well, that's a scorpion ship. Is that a tower ship? Yeah, I need to stay away from that ship, actually, because it might get to shoot arrows at me even when it's sitting there. Okay, this is the enemy general. It is a citizen hoplite. It's not my #1 concern. But it is potentially strong enough to cause me some grief. And I don't want to use my arrows on it, because I'm going to need my arrows for the more powerful hoplites that'll be coming off the ship. What's going on over here, but that unit's clearly having trouble getting off the boat. And those javelin men are finally on their way. We're gonna try and outflank these citizen hoplites real quick. And we need to just kind of bring these weak units over here out of the way. I'm gonna use my hillmen to see if we can quickly knock out these citizen hoplites. And a quick knockout may be possible here. Hopefully I don't lose too many of my general. I don't think we will. Citizen Hoplite's a pretty weak unit, and I have it utterly surrounded. But there are some javelin men on the way. We need that hoplite unit to die. And we need to run away from this stronger hoplite unit that's coming in until I get a chance to shoot it. Okay, that javelin unit's going to eat it. I don't think they're going to get any javelins off of my general, which is fantastic. Okay. So my general has destroyed the javelin unit now too. We can now put him on fire at will and heavy shot and begin working on those hoplites. We all know from a past battle that my hoplites, or that the hoplites are going to do very well against my hillmen. My general's unit is kind of all split up on those javelin, so some of them are actually running into the hoplites at the moment. But we do have them following us, and I'm not on a manual skirmish. Oh crap, they got some slingers over here. We need to get away from them. I just want to keep these hoplites' attention here. I don't really want to engage them. What other units do they have over here? This unit's also appearing to be glitched out. So this may actually end up being something I have to fast forward. Gotta get away from the hoplites. And we're going to need to do quite a bit of damage to him, I think, before my hillmen are actually going to be capable of killing them. Crap. hillmen are getting shot to bits. The slinger unit. Can't really afford that. I'm gonna see if I can juke around this hoplite unit and get my general over here to put some pressure on those slingers. I think we can get around it. It's a relatively slow unit, and I should be able to get a few more shots while we're at it. Yeah, we're gonna get around the hoplite unit. They're only concerned with capturing the town center, which is a stupid mistake. So now my general is going to be able to take out their slingers. I'm going to take them off fire at will for a moment because there's no need in wasting ammunition on the slinger unit. And it looks like this slinger unit just came ashore, and I'm just going to keep my distance still with these other units. There's no need to get them killed at this point in the fight. I need to expend all of my ammunition on these hoplites before we engage them, and then hit them with a rear charge from my noble horse archers. Alright, those slingers are now definitely going to die. Noble horse archers actually have some pretty decent stats. Not fantastic, but pretty decent. Alright, their melee defense is kind of low, but that's mostly because they don't carry a shield. Alright, enemy hoplites are capturing the town center, which is fine. It just gives them a slight morale boost. And then those enemy slingers here are now firing at my armored general, so it's time to kill them. General's actually a little winded, so let's hit him with some second wind, which is actually not a bad ability to have for an armored general, since they get tired rather easily. These slingers are going to run away, and they're not going to live. Yep. All right, so there goes another enemy unit. So really, it's just a matter of shooting these guys up. So let's bring these hillmen over here. And let's bring these eastern spearmen over here just in case. I don't expect them to do much. Okay, enemy slingers are now dead. So my noble horse archer now has 388 kills. Not bad. It's ready to come back in and start dealing the business to these hoplites. Should be able to use precision shot now too. And again, the enemy hoplites may try and camp the town center. I don't know what they're going to be interested in doing, but I'm going to try and keep firing at near point blank range. Oh, they turned their back to me. That was a huge mistake.
Advance at speed! Riders, advance! And they're ready! Noble horse archer!
Yeah, I'm never going to let these guys catch me, and I certainly don't want to fight them while they have a morale boost due to the town center. And I still have several volleys worth of ammunition left, so I fully intend to give these guys the business. So they are well shielded. Yeah, now I'm actually starting to retake the town center from them. Or at least take away their benefit that it gives them. Yeah. It's like the enemy hoplites are now fixated on my general. Nice. Yeah, these guys are going to totally eat it. I think they should be softened up enough for my hillmen to finish off. So I'm going to bring in one unit of them. Both, just to be certain. But these guys are just garrison units, so I'm not concerned about losing them. What makes you think I'm going to let you catch me? I mean, air is pretty stupid, but not that stupid. Well, I don't know. It is possible he's that stupid, actually. Okay, those hoplites are now going to die. Completely surrounded. It's not going to be like the last time we saw them getting the better of my men. They're going to be hacked down to the last man. In a merciless manner, might I add. Which is what Patchy's most familiar with anyway. And it looks like there is one unit left on the battlefield, and that's that slinger that got screwed up getting off its boat. So what I'll do is, I can't attack them, but I can just run my unit into them, basically. and then that'll begin a melee. But their arrow tower here may still be active. They sometimes are. It's pretty stupid. The ships will beach themselves, and if you get close to them, their arrow tower will just sit there and go ape on you. Let's watch what happens. Go down into cam view, or unit cam view. This episode ended up being a little longer than I wanted because of this scuffle, but it was a necessary scuffle. Don't want them retaking my city. Yep, that arrow tower on the ship's active. So my men are actually going to take some pretty hefty damage if this takes too long. But hopefully this unit will rout quickly. I'm going to come off the unit now. These guys should be getting killed. They are. But again, I can't click an attack order on them, unfortunately. I haven't lost any of my men to their arrow fire yet. Okay, their numbers are starting to drop. I imagine... Can't believe they're not routing already. Still haven't lost any men to the arrow fire off that ship. It's actually kind of surprising. I'm trying to figure out how to bring my horsemen around to kill more of these guys. There they go. Wavering. That is one valiant group of slingers to have not routed yet, with all the rest of their army gone and being attacked by a noble horse archer. I don't know what they're joking at. Come on! There we go. So, the Cimmerians are defeated, and I am going to keep my city. 567 kills on that noble horse archer. It's a good way to get started. It's the way to get it done. Welcome to Patchy's army. Oh man, excited. We got a big fight coming up here against Pontus and the Seleucids. It's going to be interesting coming up against their factions. Some of these armies I have with swords might come in handy for the sieges. And it might not hurt me to see if I can get a hold of some ballista for the upcoming sieges as well, so that I can quickly bust through enemy walls without having to send my swordsmen up ladders and getting them shot to bits by arrow towers. So I may need to just like keep my horse archer armies, but make one or two armies where it's just like swordsmen and ballista. So that they're just there for like siege support. I can move them in between major siege battles. I don't know. I'll kind of see how I want to handle that. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.